going?
Great Central Road.
Oh, there's the sign.
It's back to
We're gonna do it. We're on the way to Alice Springs. Bye WA, bye winter.
Hello Big Rock.
Big Rock.
Hello winter. It's gonna be freezing.
Well, here we go. We've just got off the bitumen just there on the Great Central Road. So this is about as clean as Cal and Ned are going to look for the next couple of days. I didn't quite realise how incredibly prophetic that last statement would be. However, we headed down the Great Central Road off to Chukalera Roadhouse. The most remote roadhouse in Australia. And at the most remote roadhouse in Australia, you have the privilege of paying $3.10, you read that right, a litre for diesel. Out the back of the Chukalera Roadhouse. Turns out that $3.10 a litre was a bargain. At the Warburton Roadhouse just down the road, it was $3.60 a litre. We weren't allowed to take photos, so we abided by the rules there. One of the things Susie and I really wanted to see when we were on the Great Central Road were camels, and we were incredibly happy to come across, funnily enough, a caravan of camels. These guys were just standing on the side of the road wondering why I was going to the back of the car to get this gadget out, and they soon found out what that gadget was as I chased them through the desert. So, this stuff coming up from Perth, chasing us down the Great Central Road. We got out of Chukalera Roadhouse and heading towards the NT border, so we're trying to get off the dirt roads before it absolutely hammers down with rain and leaves us with a massive cleanup task on Big Ned and Cal. So our little evacuation from Leinster the other week left quite the mess, which we don't want to repeat. So yeah, we'll try and get over to NT. Looks like WA Day. We'll be leaving WA. This is a very cool little free roadside stop that a local Aboriginal community has set up for travellers. We stopped in here for lunch, and then we headed off to Warrakurna Roadhouse to the last stop before the NT border. Well, we made it to Warrakurna, so we're not too far away from the border, but unfortunately the roadhouse was shut, so we couldn't get into the campground. So we've just pulled up on this little sort of gravel pit on the side of the road, camped up for the night, and now the big question is, the ranger says I've got about 338 kilometres left in the tank, and it's 331 to Yulara. Maybe I'll run the gauntlet. I hope it works. Oh well, couldn't outrun it. It caught us. So we're 24 clicks away from the Warrakurna Roadhouse, and we were hoping not to have to go back down to that, but yeah, given the weather, I think we will need to go back and get some fuel, because turns out that decision was incredibly wise, because the moment we got on the wet dirt road, the fuel consumption went from about 17.5 litres per 100 kilometres up to 23 litres per 100 kilometres. So there was absolutely no way we were going to be making it to Yulara with the amount of fuel that we had on board. Hey Susie, where are we? We're still in WA, right?
Somewhere we've never been before.
We're about to not be in WA, into the Grand Central Road. Yeah. It's pretty cool. The last part of the drive on the Great Central Road from round about Warrakurna right through to the Northern Territory border had some spectacular scenery. Really changed from the rest of the Great Central Road. So there were mountains, and because of all of the rain that was coming at us, we had low-lying cloud hovering over the top of the mountains. It really was quite spectacular. I wish I could have looked at it more, but you know, I had to keep my eyes on the road. Now, well, that's the sign for the start of the Great Central Road back there. And around this side, we got the sign for the NT border there. So, we've also got a bit of a clean up to do, as you can see. Look at it. Bloody filthy. And that's the dirtiest everything's been. It's going to be a hell of a clean up. Don't even want to start with what's going on down here. Boy. Yeah, those dirt roads turn to custard pretty quick. So I think that'll be the last time I take this big 3.5 ton beast for a drive down a wet dirt road. It was rather a harrowing experience, to be frank. There were a couple of times there when the van stepped out a little bit and just pushed the back end of the Ranger around, and there's nothing you can do. You're along for the ride there, and that's not a good position to be in. So yeah, anyway, onwards into the NT. New destination, new territory. It's going to be exciting. And so finally, after 12 months on the road, on WA Day of all day, we finally decide to get out of our own home state and head across a border into the Northern Territory. So the adventure really starts now. And while we didn't pick the easiest way to get there, after 3 days on 800 kilometers of dirt road, this all made it worth it. I don't think either of us were really fully prepared for how we'd feel about the Red Centre, but it's just absolutely magic.